It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
And welcome to Ermanni and Edwards right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Braylon. I think they'll be back in the new year. Now, no confirmation on that, but I think they'll be back in the new year. That is Anson Wells to my left. Not only will you hear from us today from 2 to 4, we're going to be doing the post-game show tonight live from Hayes Social, 21 Mile in Hayes in Shelby Township. And the gentlemen that will be doing the watch party tonight are here in the sound booth and the TD booth. We have Justin in the sound booth, and we have KG in the TD booth doing his thing over there. KG picking up skills, being KG, multifaceted.
He is. He's very talented. They both are. But KG, listen, I was thinking about you over this weekend, and I don't want this to throw you off from the watch party tonight, but I brought you something here, and it is a fake LeBron James card, just like your fake GOAT.
Jesus.
That's for you, pal.
You let the hate out your heart, bro. He's fake. 40 today. Let the hate out your heart,
it's
man.
It's not real. It ain't the GOAT.
Hey, 4 championships looks real to me. So.
Yeah, how many losses? 6?
It don't matter. Four chips. So you go out there and get 4 championships.
I will flop.
I thought it was. No, that's good. That's good. That's a good one.
I thought this was a Lions show. That's all you've done for the game.
Oh, it's his birthday today, too?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect, man. Nothing like a fake GOAT card of the non-GOAT.
Fake GOAT.
There we go. Happy birthday, baby.
Nothing like talking ish on someone's birthday.
That's right.
Whatever. I'll talk. Doesn't matter about LeBron James. Anyways, we got more important fish to fry. It's weird because I should feel like we should be talking about the Vikings all damn show today, because this is pretty much a week lead up to the game that really matters. But there's a Monday Night Football game tonight against the team that knocked the Lions out of the NFC Championship last year, in the same place that it all went down last year. And we got to talk about that, because not only is this game right in front of the Lions, it's important, but it's not important in a lot of ways. And I said it last week. I was a little disappointed with how this season's played out for the 49ers, because I wanted the Lions to have to go to San Francisco and beat the big dog. Not go up against a team that's battled and bruised, even though we're battled and bruised as well. They've given up on this season. Like, Dan Campbell did not let his men fall to the fate that Kyle Shanahan allowed his guys to fall to because of injuries. I don't know anymore how to feel about this game. I already wasn't as excited as I needed to be going into it. And now that the Vikings won yesterday, Packers couldn't get it done as predicted because they're fraudulent. I just don't – I'm interested because it's the Lions playing football. But can we get to next Sunday already?
Well, I got to say, Lions fans have drawn my ire a little bit this week for 2 reasons. But before I get to them, I need to re-emphasize how massive next week is for you. So I do understand why you want to skip past this game, because you and some others here at Woodward dismissed the Minnesota Vikings.
I still dismiss the Vikings.
In the preseason.
I still dismiss them.
Early. But don't forget, you have a $350 bet on the line for a game that you were pretty positive wouldn't matter. And most of the people at the network were pretty positive it wouldn't matter. To the point now that it matters so much that everyone wants to skip past the 49ers. Listen, Lions fans, if any of you guys think you're on the same frequency as this regime, as Dan Campbell, I got to say that most of you are not, because the whole of the Lions team wants revenge tonight. This game has been circled for almost a year. And I know there's talk about resting, and there's all of this, let's focus on the Vikings. This game doesn't mean anything. Cap! All right? These guys are dialed in. They are focused, and they want revenge. It doesn't matter what the 49ers record is. The Lions are going to handle business tonight, And one thing they're not talking about in Allen Park, or certainly in the Bay Area where they are right now, is the Minnesota Vikings. They are focused on the 49ers and the 49ers only.
I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown's quote about rooting for the Packers would kind of disagree with that statement. So, like, they're paying attention to what's going around.
Sure, you can root for them, but they're not sitting there looking at next week. They
should be, because that's the only game that matters. If they come out today and do nothing, guess what? It means nothing. Like, today literally means nothing.
So
you can gain nothing out of this game.
Losing in San Francisco means nothing to the psyche of this team and fan base?
Not if you go in Week 18 and clinch the #1 seed and have your bye week, does it? I think that's this game is on the schedule. But because we already know the outcome of what they did, now if roles were reversed and we were playing Sunday Night Football against the 49ers and they were playing the next day, it was, we didn't know what happened with Green Bay and Minnesota. But now that we know, we know. And I can't go back. Like, the genie's out of the bottle on that for me. And I can't go back to, oh, man, sweaty palms for this game. Now it's like, all right, the Lions can lose this game. They can, and it won't matter.
I'm so annoyed at people talking about ties with Minnesota.
Well, that's the only thing that matters in this game, right? If the Lions lose this game, then a tie with Minnesota means they win the division.
Minnesota does.
Yes,
Correct.
Minnesota wins
Correct.
the division. So I guess there is...
What is it, 29 or 26 ties in the last 40 years?
I mean, but it does happen, and
Sure.
I guess if you want to try to eliminate every possibility besides beating them, then you got to win today. And listen, I want the Lions to win. I want them to go in there and curb stomp these guys. I want them to take retribution, but I also want them to stay healthy. I also want them to be rested. I also want them to understand, like, just because this was my enemy last year, it's no longer the target. San Francisco's no longer the target that it was even at the beginning of the season. And yeah, you can say that I've slept on the Vikings. I don't think I've slept on the Vikings. I think the Vikings...
They have 2 losses.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
They're not bad. they're not bad, but do they scare me in any capacity?
They don't
Are they to the level of, like, a Bills team? Are they to the level of having an MVP caliber quarterback like Baltimore
let me
does?
stop you there.
No.
Let me pause you right there, because I was thinking about it, and realistically, nobody's talking about Sam Darnold. Now, the guy doesn't run or look as magical as Lamar or as good as, Josh Allen. And realistically, his statistics are a step below Jared Goff. I'm kind of looking at both their coach and Sam Darnold as they have to be in the conversation for Coach of the Year and for MVP, because you look at a team that had given away their best quarterback, their franchise quarterback for the last decade almost. They've got a hand-picked first-round rookie who's supposed to take over, who all of a sudden he's gone, and now this guy's got to step up, who's never really had any success at the NFL level. And this team, they've only got 2 losses. Now, do I think they're as good as the Lions? I certainly do not.
Right.
I'm not worried about Week 18. But I do think that the Vikings have been largely disrespected by the whole of the NFL as well as Lions fans, because they really handled business against the Packers. I know we could talk about that field goal at the end of the first half that they probably shouldn't have been able to get after a non-existent offsides, but hey, those guys are coming in here focused. I know that Lions fans want to look at the Vikings game, and it's great to talk about, but I really think that we are glancing too quickly over this matchup, that 53 guys want to pound this defeat into the 49ers' mind. And as we talked about on Friday, an era-ending victory.
Yeah.
I feel the era's already over there. I don't think there's any. You're going through a town that's already been pillaged with the 49ers, right? Like, what are you gonna do? Burn down more houses?
Yes. Yes.
No.
You damn right. Burn it to the ground.
Kick over what's standing, and I hate it too, because, like I said, I really want this retribution. I wanted this to be a big game. I was talking about how disappointed I was last week. Now I'm even more disappointed, because now it means absolutely not. Like, there is literally nothing the Lions can gain out of this game, and that's what I don't like. And I'm not scared. I'm not playing
what about
scared.
What they could lose?
Don't worry. What?
What about what they could lose?
They could lose players.
Well, listen,
and that's what I'm afraid of.
yeah.
Like, I don't want to lose a player to a bum-ass team that the outcome doesn't even matter.
Okay.
And that's why. It's a risk that you don't need to take against these guys.
Let's
so
assume
start
health.
Christian Mahogany, right?
Yeah.
Start Dan Skipper. Do those types of things. I'm not saying shut the whole program down, but let's also play with some caution.
So let's assume health coming out of this game. I'm looking at Twitter today, and I see our boy Easy's like, I saw this list, and it ruined my Christmas. I think they had the Lions at 4 in the whole NFL. Like, why is this?
Well, they had the Packers above
Why
them.
is
That's
this
why.
stuff bothering us? So the same Lion fans that say that this game doesn't matter are the same Lions fans that have their Christmas ruined because they're not ranked. Their team's not ranked number 1. So, again, health assumed. If the Lions go out there, as some fans would, suggest, kind of taking this game lightly, and they lose, what that does to the fan base, the national media, and then I don't think it would really hurt the Lions. Their psyche seems as strong as I've ever seen any Lions team. But, man, the loss tonight, a close game lost tonight, I mean, I don't even want to have to deal with what we deal with tomorrow on the show.
I think it's already forgotten tomorrow. I think, honestly, if they lose tonight, and I can't believe we keep talking about like they are going to lose. But
They're not.
They're not. I don't think they're going to lose by any stretch of the imagination. But if they do tonight, I think the focus is on Minnesota tomorrow because we're already focused on Minnesota today.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's why it's just so weird to me. Like the Lions have a game on the schedule. The Lions have the most wins they've ever had in a regular season. The Lions could get 14 wins tonight. And I'm not jacked for this game like I should be.
So if the Packers did get the win last night, what do you think that would impact for the Lions lineup tonight?
Oh, my God. If the Packers got the win last night, tonight would be, all right, boys, let's make sure we go in there and really level this. Like, now you go in and pillage everything, right? You flatten the whole organization. Yeah, because that win secures you the number 1 seed.
So you're saying don't rest the starters if they win the number 1 seed. Is that what you're saying?
No, if the Packers won last night, you play this game 100% of the way because then the Vikings game is meaningless.
I guess.
Like
KG, you don't seem on board with that one. Let me hear you.
Nah, I'm just the Lions aren't in a position to waste any games right now. So I get it. The 49ers, they're not the same team that we thought they would be, but you still got the same coach over there. You still got the same quarterback. They still got Deebo Samuel. They still got George Kittle. A lot of those defensive starters were there last year. So this game means something to the Lions, man. I just can't buy into that. Now, are they consumed by the revenge narrative? No, but they're going to go in there. They're not thinking about Minnesota right now. They're thinking about the 49ers, and they're going to go in there and go get back for what the fuck happened last year. Because I don't blame the 49ers.
Fox too.
Yeah, sorry. But no, I don't blame the 49ers for what happened to the Lions last year. That was all the Lions. The Lions let that game down. The Lions lost in San Francisco. So they want to go right the wrongs, and they're going to do that tonight.
I get it, but it's like going after the bully that beat you up in 7th grade when you're now in 9th grade.
It don't matter.
Like, it's good. You got your retribution. You finally beat him up. But that bully is not today's bully. That was last year's bully. Today's bully stands in front of us at week 18, and that's who we got to go punch in the nose. That's my vibe to this game, right? Like, yes, I got
to be honest with you, man.
gotta go
30
beat him
years
up.
later, Eric Essenberg, you still on my list.
What did Eric Essenberg do to you?
It's up for life.
You want me to go in there?
Swirly? He gave you the swirly?
You brought it up.
He stuffed you in the locker?
Oh, man. So freshman year, you know how you come in a couple weeks early for practice and stuff?
Yeah.
And, like, I went to a private school. We had 2 girls in my graduating class, so I'm excited. I'm like, man, look at all these women. And this beautiful blonde girl's talking to me, and this dude comes over and just cusses me out. And I'm like, what did I do, man? He's like, you're cross country B.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I didn't know that cross country was a B thing. I mean, I lettered in it. I was freshman of the year in our conference. But I may or may not have gotten busted rolling certain things with him in the parking lot my senior year. And
now we get into
his advice for what I was supposed to say when we went to the office, I went the opposite way. And guess who got to stay in school? A multi-suspended dude. And guess who got expelled?
Wow.
Damn. What's he doing nowadays? Do we know where he is at?
I saw him in the alcohol aisle at Meyer with his man.
You ain't square up with
I'm
him?
really putting him out there right now.
Hopefully he got some 1800
You done dropped the government name and everything.
No, but I'll tell you what. the girl I was with versus the girl he was with, he was watching her, and then he realized who I was. The look on his face was enough.
So who got the girl that night, though, when he came up and started cussing you?
Oh, I mean, in high school, bro, at that time, I was like 5'5", maybe 110 pounds. I wasn't doing that great. I was a late bloomer.
If you bump into him at Birmingham Roast tomorrow, are you squaring up with him?
No.
Can I swing on him for you?
Oh, certainly, my man. Certainly, my man. I hope he brought his Depends.
But yeah, yesterday's bully is not today's bully.
Right.
But apparently, hey, maybe Dan Campbell and the Lions are a lot like Anson. What was his name? Dan whatever?
I'm not saying his name again, bro, because I know there's some people from school
some
watching,
people hold on to it a little bit longer.
Hey, you shouldn't have been picking on me.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, damn.
Oh yeah.
There's the difference in mentality, right?
Well,
you want the 49ers because of that.
But
because of what they did last
karma
year.
doesn't come on your time.
Look at what the Lions did in Dallas. Why was Chris Christie, a politician, getting involved in that game talking about our head coach? It's because we went in there and we didn't just get up and hold the lead. We embarrassed them. We left a Honolulu blue taste in their mouth for the rest of the year and going forward. I'm telling you, this team loves revenge, and they are bringing it tonight to the Bay Area.
Theo in the Woodward Sports chat, you look like you've bulked up to about 115 pounds now.
Hey, it's a little more like 150, baby.
Oh, look at that. All the Lady Jane's girls going wild right now. We got to take a break. What do we got, KG?
We are going to 1800 Tequila. That's my man Justin over there.
Hey,
Big Justin.
that's what Anson's boy was picking up in the liquor aisle at Myers.
And it is the premier brand of tequila, so make sure you pick up 1800 Tequila, the official tequila of Woodward Sports, Lions watch parties, and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports at every Lions game, live at Hayden Social in Shelby Township, and celebrate the win with smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. Drink responsibly.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Mark White, dreaming of a new home, but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Okay.
All right. There we are. All right. Welcome back to the Ermanni and Edwards show with Maz. They're off. I have no idea where the hell everybody is.
Maz in New York.
Maz is in New York. Braylon, he's MIA. I texted him the other day. I haven't heard from Braylon. I don't know where Braylon is. If you see Braylon out, let us know. And Ermanni was celebrating his beautiful wife's birthday yesterday.
Hey, shout out Armani.
You know,
Shout out to Mrs.
Armani.
Speaking of Maz, he was at the Giants game, and Drew Lock cost the Empire State Mr. Shadir Sanders. with that win.
That may be a blessing in disguise.
Could be.
I'm not convinced Sanders is going to be an NFL caliber quarterback. But.
I think he's an NFL caliber quarterback. I think the problem is much like Spencer Rattler went to college as basically a millionaire already, he got leveled at college, and his skills were able to get him into the NFL, but I think it was his mentality and being humbled that allowed him to assimilate into an NFL team. Shedur's been sheltered by his father Dion at every level of college, and he's never had to answer to being a man. So unless Jerry Jones can figure out a way to get that pick and bring them both to Dallas, Shedur's going to have a very serious wake-up call as a man.
Yeah, I'm not challenging his manhood. I'm just talking about what I see on the field with him. I mean, he just hasn't progressed over the couple years he's been in the NCAA. He's still making bad decisions in the pocket. He's still trying to extend plays he shouldn't. Trying to use his athleticism to overcome a lot of his inadequacies, and that shows up in the NFL, and it shows up real fast in the NFL. But either way, if I'm New York, and I have to take someone from Colorado, I'm taking Travis Hunter.
That's such a nice pick. I hope that whoever takes him lets him play both ways. I have missed that. I haven't seen that since like the 80s.
Well, Charles Woodson, a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm talking outside of special teams. I mean, like,
right.
I guess it was Dion, really. Dion was the last one.
Shedur will be very good.
You think, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'd put some change on that.
I'll bet you on that.
All right, what counts as him panning out in the NFL?
Better than Caleb.
Well, what's our measurement on that though? I mean, because some people would argue Caleb Williams has had a good year this year because of some of the metrics compared to other rookie quarterbacks, but the eyeball test tells you that.
Are you talking about his rookie year or his career? Because I'm talking about his career.
How about first 4 years? Because I don't want us to be 40 years old being like, remember?
Pro Bowl in his first 4 years.
Pro Bowl first 4 years? Done.
I'll do that. Lunch. Pro Bowl in 4 years.
So let me ask you, how were you on Catfish Caleb coming out? Were you a big fan as well?
No, not really. I think that Shedur is a smarter scrambler than Caleb Williams is. I don't think he allows himself to do those second and third twists back that Caleb does. He gets rid of the ball a little bit.
BYU had their way with him.
They did have their way with him, but they also had some opt-outs. But he makes plays. That's clean cut. He makes plays.
Yeah, and Johnny Manziel made plays too.
Catfish would be.
He was undersized.
Catfish
is
would
not
help
undersized.
Himself out so much more if he actually ran the ball about 40 yards a game. There's just some times where you either got to throw it out of bounds if you can't run, and if you're as athletic as he is, you've got to make the defense think that you might do that. The few games I've seen him actually run and get about 40 yards, he opens everything up for him. He just tries to do too much. He might grow out of that, but I saw a stat yesterday. He is the worst rookie season for a quarterback basically in the last this century.
Well, that's the Bears for you.
We knew
Bears
that.
Bear.
Who do you believe in this draft class before we move on to the Lions? I'm just curious.
As far as quarterbacks?
Yeah.
No one?
No one?
I don't think
valid.
This is a strong quarterback class at all.
You're not a Cam guy, huh?
No, and especially not after what he did this weekend. I don't want that guy on my squad.
Yeah, playing in the first half just to set a record, just for your team to lose in the second half
to watch your team lose by
you.
a point in the second half, be able to sit there.
No, that's soft as baby shit.
It just shows you. That just shows you the competitive nature of them isn't there. And I get it. It's a business decision, and I don't have to make those business decisions. I don't have tens of millions of dollars waiting in front of me, so I can understand that side of the argument. But if you went into the Lions locker room and you talked to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes about when they're drafting people and what they look for, do you think any of those guys could be held out of a football game that their team was trailing by 1?
No.
And that's exactly it. It's the psychology of it. Now, maybe he falls in the right position, gets a team that can get that rah-rah underneath him, but that's the same thing I saw in Caleb Williams. This guy's not a leader of men.
100%.
And when you do that, it sends a wrong message to a lot of people. They may not say it publicly. I can, because that's what I'm supposed to do, is talk publicly about those things. But I know behind closed doors, it's like, man, this guy let his team suffer, lose by a point after he set his little record, and then he was just like, nah, I'm out.
Well, shout out to the Colorado program. They took out insurance policies on both Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders to play that game. Why don't you do the same for Cam and let him play a full game? I'm on board with you, though. Listen, I will pay to play, and I am certainly always going to compete.
And that's another reason why I'm so much higher on Shedeur Sanders, because I've seen him take the beatings. I've seen him sit there hurt when his own offensive line has been awful in the past, and just continue to try to make plays and just feed Travis Hunter, which he might not have that luxury. He's not going to have that luxury in the NFL. He probably will not have a elite wide receiver like Travis Hunter right out of the gate, but he has the ability to just grit it out and grind it out.
I know, but he's had to do that in Colorado. Imagine when he plays against real ballers. I mean, let's be honest. Colorado's schedule was not tip-top. He wasn't going up against the best competition. And we'll see. Time will tell. We got 4 years till the Pro Bowl, and me and Justin sit down for a nice lunch.
This close from throwing to Malik Neighbors, Shedeur Sanders was.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Who's got the number one now?
Pats.
Yep.
Pats?
They're going to take
Patriots.
Travis Hunter.
Yep.
And that's a good fit for the Travis Hunters of the world. I mean, the Patriots are the one organization that I think would use somebody both ways. What up, KG?
Hey, real quick, we got a couple super chats in here. Shout out to Funny Boy Roddy, $4.99. I thought KD was a New York Jets fan. Now he is a Detroit Lions fan.
Hey.
Laughing emojis. He's just a bandwagon fan, just like like most Lions fans. And we also have Dante151, $1.99 super
I
chat.
love how you read the one that's trashing you.
What, me?
Yeah.
He said KD, not KG.
Oh, I thought he said KG.
No,
My bad. Okay.
come on. I
was-
don't get
I
hate
thought-
on this network,
I
okay?
was the same thing.
I'm one of the most beloved people at this
I was
network.
like,
Anyway,
KG's diving in.
you're right. No, Dante151, shout out to you. $1.99 super chat. With Sanders, I would sit him so he doesn't get killed.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out what happens to Sanders. He's going to go to a team. He's going to get playing time right away. Usually that's not a recipe for success. I mean, look at Trevor Lawrence. When he was playing college football, that was Jesus, right? That was the next coming, the best prospect that there could ever be.
Who's that?
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, gets in the NFL.
Never understood that either.
Gets in the NFL. It's a little bit different ball game, especially when you're on a team that's not that good. So we'll see what happens to
I got a
Sanders.
quick scenario
We're spending
before-
a lot of time talking about Colorado football
Real
right
quick
now.
scenario here, though. This is NFL football. With New England having the number one pick and Drake May in uniform, they most likely trade that pick and trade down a little bit. Is that where you see Jerry Jones making the moves to go get his guy Shedeur and then to bring in Prime as the
I mean, Jerry Jones is drunk. Who knows what he's
I think
going to do?
that happens.
Who knows what Jerry Jones is?
I think that if New York ends up with that pick, you see Shedeur in New York, and I think now that it is in the hands of the Patriots, I think we will see a Cowboys-New England trade and Shedeur, the Sanders boys, both in Dallas.
that works. He's your typical Dallas Cowboy, all flash, no substance.
NFL would love that.
Yeah. Did you see what Micah Parsons said, by the way, about the score? Like the game was close if you didn't look at the scoreboard. It's like, no, bro. Like the scoreboard matters. I think they lost like 33-7. Let's take a break. We'll be right back talking more Lions football tonight. And you guys in the chat, let us know. Do you want us talking Lions 49ers or you want us talking Lions Vikings? Because we're kind of in this weird spot right now where the 49ers game does not matter. KG, where are we going?
Tell the good people about Planet Fitness, please.
Oh, Planet Fitness. No matter what you're doing, they got 50 Metro Detroit locations, so there's one near you. You walk in, you get your black card. Next thing you know, you're getting the massage. You're in the chairs just laying there. The tanning is free, so you can not look like a ghost in the middle of winter like Flannel Sam did this morning on Wake Up Woodward. Go get a tan, go get your workout, and get that massage at Planet Fitness.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The holidays are here. Don't know where to get your friends and family? Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted for the Lions Super Bowl run. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. So make sure it's a happy holiday for you or the sports lover in your life. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Hey, we get it. Getting your hair cut, it's a chore a lot of the times. But not when you come and get it from Lady Jane's. Listen, you're going to sit back. You're going to get that haircut as well as the scalp massage, the hot leather neck treatment. The talented stylists at Lady Jane's, they got you, all right? Come on in. No call necessary. You just walk right in 7 days a week. They're all over Metro Detroit. Take the chore out of it because Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Braylon Edwards. That is Anson Wells, filling in for Ryan Ermanni. Nobody's filling in for Maz today. It's just a big empty chair.
Show the chair.
So sad. So sad. But we have Justin. We got KG in here. Nobody with the super chat right now. Random, but our authentic Lions fans gatekeeping fandom. Yeah, I've been accused of it, and I'm okay with it. I suffered. That's my excuse. If you're jumping on now and they were 0-16 and you never watched and you can't name players from 5 years ago, I'm not going to take you seriously when you tell me you're upset that they lost. It can't hurt. You weren't there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, at the same point, we all want to get to a point where we're so good that the entire city, the entire state is behind a team. But you hear some really bad takes. You hear some mostly ignorant opinions because they're based on a year or two of watching this team. So it's kind of hard to handle sometimes. Like for me right now, I know everybody wants to talk Minnesota, but I tell you right now, I know that Amon-Ra might have been watching that game last night and pulling for the Packers, but they're not talking Vikings in the locker room right now.
I don't know. It's had to have been addressed.
I know.
It has to have been addressed. Like, listen, guys, we got one more hill we got to climb. And now we got a little anthill in front of us in the 49ers. Like,
I don't believe
that's what
that.
makes it. I know, but human nature, right? Like, it's human nature to, hey, this game doesn't matter. Why would we go all out? And I get it, to stay hot, to stay on point. But to me, it's like, you can rest everybody this game, get geared up for next week, win that game, then you get a full week of more rest, 2 weeks off essentially. So you could literally have 3 weeks off of the next 4 if you take this game lightly. Because it really doesn't matter. If you win this game and lose next week, who cares about the 49ers game?
KG, what time do the inactives come out? Around 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock in the morning.
So I think we'll get a glimpse of what Dan has in his mind for this game tonight. If we see the whole offensive line active, or the backup offensive line activated, if we see a bunch of deep guys activated.
You see Goff deactivated.
Right,
I don't think we'll see that. But listen, I'm gonna put my mark on it, man. I really think that Dan Campbell and the rest of the 53, they aren't taking this game lightly. They aren't looking forward to next week. They're going to handle business, and it's not just a normal game. This is the team that ended their season last year.
So if this wasn't that team, how would you be taking this game? Like if this was the Tennessee Titans, would you care?
Well, of course I'm going to care, but no, it's a good question because you don't care as much.
Right.
You don't want the retribution. There is no retribution.
Right. It would just be like,
And obviously, it's a team that isn't as good. I think you'd have to take a little bit of a more scary team for me. But listen, the 49ers, although they are a little beat up, they still have weapons. Purdy has had some really big games over the last month, and their defense makes plays. Nick Bosa's going to be out there. You know, Fred Warner's going to be out there. There's a lot of playmakers on this squad, both on offense and defense. And if the Lions players took in the mentality of the Lions fans, they could get beat. in the Bay Area tonight.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. And here we go. Jay Washington in the Woodward Sports chat. Winning always matters. What is Stick talking about?
Agreed.
No, it doesn't.
I agree.
What? Okay, if they win tonight, does it matter for Sunday?
Yes.
It does?
Yes, because just as
And then if they lose Sunday, if they lose Sunday and they win tonight,
it does matter because just as you said, you pointed out human nature, all right? And human nature is based on momentum and confidence. And if you go into this game and because you sat some guys, you end up losing it, even though statistically, in terms of the standings and how you have to win out, it doesn't matter. That is not an emotional, psychological blow that the coaching staff is willing to let their players shoulder. Even though we've seen that this team is resilient and they come back even more focused after a loss, this is a game that if the Lions lost, it wouldn't be a good thing psychologically. I just don't think so.
Arf in the chat. When did Stick get scared? Way off brand for him.
Hey, I love that.
Dude,
Arf.
right? But wait, do I sound scared?
A little bit.
Am I like,
You
oh.
don't sound like the Stick I've heard all season.
No.
I'm going to be honest. I
No,
love you,
that's
brother.
real.
Because this is a situation we haven't been in all season.
KG, are we
This
wrong
game,
right now?
No, I don't think so.
Have
Come
we,
on,
been, in
man.
have we been in a situation like this all season?
Justin, is he
No,
scared?
we haven't. But
Exactly. So, yeah, it's different because the situations, like this is where people don't have critical thinking and can't think outside the box. This game means nothing. And I have to
I
accept
can't say that, man.
It does, man.
Yeah, because if you lose
As of
this game
last
and
night-
then you lose next week, then you look like a complete fucking idiot rest of your starters in week 17.
two?
So, my bad.
He's got a
But
real issue
once
in that booth over there, doesn't he?
Yeah, but once again, it's
Sorry,
just like
Fox two.
injuries can happen anywhere. I do get
I'm
the
not
injury
worried about
element.
injuries.
But
I'm just pointing out that you could try your hardest and it doesn't matter. You could go win by 80 and it doesn't matter if you lose week 18. And it's not being scared. That is the reality of what's going on with the Detroit Lions right now.
But why-
That is reality, guys.
Statistical reality, but listen, I got to side with Arf and KG here in the fact that this is a shift from 2024 Stick. 2024 Stick has been all in at stepping on throats. Every game matters. Let's get there.
Because every game did matter, and now this game doesn't. What part of that don't you guys understand? Please explain to me why this game matters
because this
so
game
much.
isn't in a vacuum.
It's
you
not.
can say standings-wise it is in a vacuum, but there's 53 human beings that have to bear the loss or win out of this game. They are going to shoulder that emotionally and psychologically whether they win or not. A win, you're even more
Then
confident.
let's play
A
the
loss,
psychological
there might
game.
be some second guessing.
Has Dan Campbell lost back-to-back games
I already
in 2 years?
spoke about that.
No.
I just said
Okay.
3 minutes ago, this is a team that comes out even more focused after losses.
So maybe you want him to lose this game then.
Oh, man, who
Am I
are
wrong?
you today?
Am I wrong?
Who are you?
I'm just using logic.
KG, is he afraid? All right, excuse me. Justin, is he afraid?
Yeah, tell me, Justin. Am I afraid?
No, I don't think he's afraid.
Thank you.
I think that he is just living in the reality of this season so far. We've had very poor injury luck, and it is apparent. But I think that saying that this game doesn't matter is
misleading.
Misleading. Like, two things can be true. In the grand scheme of the standings, it doesn't mean a thing. But to this team, to the team that blew an 18-point lead in San Francisco when they were quarter away from being in the Super Bowl, that matters to them. And they have proved that every single time they go out there, when they play the Dallases of the world, they go out there and they celebrate. They call trick plays. They embarrass you. And that's what I expect to happen today.
So do I. Listen,
Amen.
didn't I say I expect them to win this game? Did I ever waver that they're not going to win this game? But I just understand that this game no longer has the value and importance that it did when we thought at the
But
beginning
that
of the season.
mindset is the prescription for a loss, right? That's how you go in and lose these games, is when you say it doesn't matter.
But when the game actually doesn't matter, it's not a false mindset. Like if we were going in, if last night the Vikings went in with, hey, it doesn't matter, it's different because that game actually
you're
matters.
coach. You're stepping in for Dan, all right?
Yep.
You're coach.
Yep.
Hey, guys, let's hit the field. This one doesn't matter.
Or you look around the locker room, hey guys, I know because Minnesota won last night that this game is not our top priority. It's winning the division, getting the first round bye, which can only happen in Week 18. It cannot happen tonight.
When has Dan and the Lions ever looked past the week that they're playing?
Didn't I say that I understand Dan's not thinking the way I'm thinking? The locker room isn't thinking
just
the way
want to
I'm
verify.
thinking?
Just want to verify.
But that
they
doesn't
never
mean I
look
can go
ahead.
like this and be like, wow, this game is very important because of the jerseys that they're wearing across from us. Like, I get it. You guys have angst over the loss last year. To me, last year's bully, not this year's bully. Go get vengeance for what? You win this game. What did it avenge? Honestly, what does it avenge this year if they win this game against San Francisco?
I think it does something to the morale of the guys in that locker room.
I agree.
But I just have some super chats to read off. We got a few in here. Randall Smalls, $10, shout out. As a OG in the chat, I have an old English D Hart and bleed Honolulu Blue. This team is like an elephant. We don't forget. We hanging 50 tonight. Let's go down. Idris Singleton with $2. Shout out to you. Usually I agree with Stick, but this time I don't. And it has 2 likes on that. Dante 151.
Now you finally know what it's like to be me.
Right. Hey, shout out to Dante yet again, $4.99 super
Shout out
chat.
Dante.
Stick, the reason why this game is important because all caps, because when the last time the Lions went undefeated on the road, never in my lifetime, let's do it.
No cap.
And that's fine. Like, but those things don't matter to me anymore. Like, I thought we were past that as Lions fans. Does not winning on the road or always winning on the road matter? No, winning the Super Bowl matters. That is the only goal. That is the only focus. You want to get sidetracked from your little get back from last year? Go ahead, by all means. I'm thinking about Super Bowl.
Okay, so
I'm thinking about this team moving forward. Not about last year. That's in the rear view.
You're comfortable dumping one of your last 2 games before the playoffs?
I'm not comfortable. I don't want to do it, but I understand if I'm going to. The game I need to dump is the 49ers. Because guess what? If I beat the 49ers and lose to the Vikings, I don't get the bye. I'm not the number 1 seed. So, like, placing all this value on the 49ers tonight is just, it's a fool's errand to me. I don't understand.
I think you and some fans are on the wrong frequency from what this team is on. This is a 17-0 mindset Lions team. They are pissed about the 2 games they lost by less than a touchdown, and they are not taking this game lightly. We could be going into New York to play the lowly Giants, and they're going to take this game seriously, and then on Tuesday, they will turn their attention to the Vikings, and only
Which
on
I hope
Tuesday.
they do. And like I said, I don't anticipate them losing this game. But if they do, I'm not going to be like y'all and jumping off the Belle Isle Bridge. Like, oh, my God, we couldn't get our get back from last year. How are we ever going to survive? To me, it's like, no, we on to the next one already. Like, look, this show we even had to discuss. Do we even talk about the 49ers? Because it doesn't matter. That's how little this game matters. And I know you want to make it a mountain.
No,
it's a molehill.
I think that mentality does not match up with the team's mentality. And that, again, is where I've had an issue with this fan base. You were just talking about gatekeeping, and you're against fans that have been around that haven't been here for the last few years, or up until the last few years. That's their mentality. This game doesn't matter. What I have watched is a culture of losing my entire life.
Yeah.
So I am not embracing going in limp-wristed to this game tonight.
But what you're also trying to learn is how to be a winner, Anson. And you just said you've had losing your whole life. So evolving as a winner is understanding time and place. Understanding macro.
Evolving as a winner is giving up a game.
Being a winner is embracing every single opportunity as a non-fail situation.
But what's the
I
opportunity?
Have to step
What's
up.
the opportunity
I have to
tonight?
give my best. And that is exactly what this team and this coaching staff believes in and fully supports. Period.
Yeah.
Kathy!
Shout out Kathy.
Hey,
Kathy always breaks the
she's
tension.
great. She's great. 2 generations in the 26 and the 16. 2 guys that I think will have a huge game tonight. I know you asked the question a little bit ago, Who do you think goes off? I think the natural assumption is that it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. I will give you my answer, and I want to hear the rest from the chat when we come back from paying some bills.
Yeah,
Yes,
the chat,
sir.
put your MVP for tonight's game. Who on the Lions is going to be your MVP? Or if you think they're going to lose, who on the San Francisco 49ers is going to be the MVP?
All right, real quick, super chat from Rando Smalls, $5. We want it all. There can only be one, with 6 likes on that. But can you tell us about Dr. Pierce, Justin?
Yes, I can. If you are looking for the best information on sports injuries, well, don't miss out on the expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and every Thursday during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts.
Trust him.
Dr. Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hey, Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. Right now, they got those wings for you. You want that lemon pepper? It's so good. It's buttery. It's lemony. It's peppery.
Amazing.
And honestly, the other flavors are good, but I don't even try them when they drop them off at Hayes. I just go for the lemon pepper. You can too. Soroki's. They're popping up all over Metro Detroit for a limited time. Get those wangs.
Get those hot
And
garlic
biscuits.
wings.
Oh, yeah, and biscuits. Welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermanni. That is Anson Wells, filling in for Braylon Edwards. We got young Justin in here, KG in the TD booth. I'm being accused of being scared by the chat just because I'm pointing
very
out
stoked
that
today.
there's no mathematical advantage to winning today.
Yeah, what happened to Stoke not scared, buddy?
What part of
I'm
me-
not calling you scared. I just like them calling you scared.
I know, but I don't understand the scared ass. Am I like, oh my God, we can't lose. Oh, if we lose.
I gotta be
oh.
honest with you. Coming in today, I would have completely thought you to be on the other side of this argument. Just personally, I would have thought.
Yeah, no, it's a different ball game now than it used to be. Like games are different. This game, like it went from being very important. Like I said, if the Packers won last night, oh my God, go in there and rip heads off everybody. So then you get to take Week 18 off. But it's just transposed. Like the Vikings are here. Like if the games were switched, either way, not scared of the 49ers, not scared at all. Just game doesn't matter anymore, and it's kind of taken the luster out of it for me. So I'm focused on the Vikings because that's the game that matters.
Well, there is a debate on whether we should be talking 49ers or Vikings right now, but we are going to do the same thing we did on Friday and leave the last segment up to one of you. So keep the super chats coming in. Whoever sends the most, you get to pick our final segment topic.
We asked you guys in the chat to let us know who your MVP of this game is. That's what we're going to do for this segment. Tim Patrick, MVP for tonight from Harold Wisley says that. Waymo and Kirby, AC says that. Super Bowl Curb going to be the MVP tonight. Time to stand alone on the interception leaderboard. Love that from
Been a while.
From CT Squid. Let's see. MVP will be J-Mo, 8 catches, $150, and 2 TDs.
You'd like that.
I would like. I mean, I think we'd all like that.
No
I need
doubt.
Goff, J-Mo, and Gibbs to go off tonight to win my fantasy league. KMG King with that one. So yeah, lots of Jared Goff will be the MVP from Fab 5 Bad Boys. KG, who you got?
I got my boy Waymo going for 1,000 tonight, man. I think he only needs 110 yards to finally hit that 1,000-yard mark. I think they know that. They want to get him the ball early and often because who is really going to cover J-Mo on the 49ers defense? They don't really have a lot of options. J-Mo for 115 yards and a tutty.
I mean, last time these two teams met up, J-Mo had 2 touchdowns, one on the reverse, the last-second touchdown. I mean, it still counts. It was the NFC Championship game, but he had his way with the San Francisco 49ers in that NFC Championship game. You see J-Mo doing it again?
I see him having a big game. I think, obviously, the 49ers, when J-Mo came into his own at the end of last season, he kind of came in underneath the radar. I don't think the 49ers were so much scheming for him as they were other players. That won't be the case tonight. They'll be worried about him, and they'll be focused on him. I love KG. I love your take on him being near 1,000 yards because if there's one thing we've seen this coaching staff do, it's get their guys to their markers. It's get their guys to their incentive points. That being said, I think the one guy that's been noticeably absent from this defense or offense this year that was a major part last year, to the tune of having maybe the greatest tight end rookie season ever, I think the Lions want to get Sam Laporta going. I'm calling for 2 touchdowns out of Big Sam today.
Laporta? Yeah, that'd be good. Tonight's such a wild card game to me, honestly. Like, I know Dan Campbell's hitting you with the coach speak and what we're going to do, but you got to know if they're up maybe 2-3 scores going into the fourth quarter.
Year?
Huh?
You mean like last year?
Yeah, but I think it's different. But it's different this year. I mean, it's not to go to the Super Bowl. And that was the thing. Like, a lot of people were talking even about next Sunday. It's the biggest game at Ford Field we've had in 30 years. No, it's not. You had playoff games at Ford Field last year. And if you lost, your season was over. Guess what happens? If you lose to the Vikings, you still go to the playoffs. So
as a 5 seed, but
it sucks. You don't want to do it, but your season's not over like a playoff game. So anybody who thinks it's the biggest game that's ever happened in Ford Field, to me, you're just wrong. Biggest regular season game, I'll give you that, because it is by far the biggest regular season game. But playoff games matter a lot more than any regular season game to me.
Mm-hmm. Who's your guy?
MVP tonight? It's just so tough. I mean, if we're going offensive side, you got to go Jared Goff. It's got to run through Jared Goff.
I like that.
Yeah, and he's the one that's got to be the
Spreading
facilitator.
it all over, 5 different players with touchdowns.
Whether it's Tim Patrick catching the ball, you get Vaki involved. You know, like you said, Laporta, he's kind of found his stride over the past 3 to 4 weeks. Yep. Obviously, J-Mo's a weapon. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who was playing with food illness last time they played. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
He got over that, which was good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like...
Khalif touchdown tonight?
Khalif, is he back?
He is.
He is officially back?
Yeah,
I know they activated him, but I didn't know if they put him on the roster, the official roster.
I think he will be back
He's
tonight.
been practicing.
We'll find out at 4 o'clock.
Hopefully.
Yeah, Khalif Raymond, an asset you haven't really used.
Now, see, to me, Khalif is a perfect example of a guy you should sit tonight. Because even though he's healthy and he's been practicing, a hamstring is one of those speed guy things.
It's just so funny. Me and you are seeing everything exact opposite tonight. Because to me, Khalif's the guy you want to practice today because you need him to get up to game speed for next week.
Right? I don't think that we need Khalif for tonight or for the Vikings, and I would love to see a fully
he's a difference
healthy,
maker on special teams.
100% healthy guy that can maximize every ounce of his speed.
Germ, he's back.
Germ, I want back big time.
That's a big thing.
Huge.
Yeah. At 4 o'clock when we find out who's actually playing, it's going to be interesting. I'm so curious for tonight now, man. Like tonight, I went from I wanted this to be an exciting game to now I'm really excited to see how Dan Campbell plays it. I'm really excited to see how this team's mental fortitude is coming into this game. Are they in the mindset of you like, hey, last year? Or are they in the mindset of, all right, we got to get through this game. Don't necessarily have to win this game.
What evidence over the last, 4 years now would suggest that Dan Campbell Mr. Fourth Down himself is going to pull punches tonight?
There isn't any, but also what sample size is there of them being in a meaningless game?
Meaningless.
There isn't any, right? So
I mean, statistic or standings wise, you're right.
That's why it's so
curious. I get
That's
you.
why I'm so intrigued by it, because we haven't seen Dan Campbell ever step off the gas.
It's true.
But we haven't ever seen a situation where he can.
Yeah.
This is the first time where it's like you can do this if you want to do it,
And he won't.
and
I'm telling
with
you,
everything that he said. I don't know, man. I just think come second half, if they're up and it's looking dominant.
But that's the key. If they're up, if they get up 2 to 3 scores, I have no problem. Sit who you need to sit, whatever you got to do. But until that happens, they're going full speed ahead. Best believe that.
We might disagree on this, but I certainly agree with you in high level intrigue for what he does tonight.
Right. It's an interesting coaching thing tonight.
We learn a lesson about Dan that we've never been given the opportunity to, like you said.
And that's what I love about it, the psychological. We're going to learn about Dan Campbell, and we'll learn whether it's the right or wrong decision come playoff time. And this is where the playoffs are here. Every move starts getting under a microscope. Do you rest? Do you not rest? Are they going to be rusty if you do rest them? Are they going to get injured if you do play them? Like, these are all the things. In the moment, you don't know whether it's the right or wrong decision. You only know after the totality of the season's played.
Yeah.
So tonight is going to there will be a decision made. What will it be? I don't know. Everybody in the chat saying Dan Campbell spoke. He's going to throw everything at him. Yes, Dan Campbell did speak. He did say that, but that was also 48 hours ago. That was before we knew the outcome of the Minnesota Packers game. And I understand why you think that doesn't matter, but it does. If Green Bay handled business and all they had to do was beat 49ers, it's a no-brainer what they're going to do tonight. But it's different.
If I'm coach, my whole team's not even watching that game until we're studying the game in film session.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Well, I mean, rest equals rust. Rise the Sales says that.
I agree.
Stick, who would you rest? Arf says that. Like I said, I would start Mahogany again, right? Because he did a good job. Get Rookie a couple extra snaps. Maybe rest Ragnow, start a different center, Sorzal or whoever they could throw in there. I would maybe keep Decker out of the game. So really my offensive line I'd be very careful with. I'm keeping Penei Sewell in the game just because he's kind of your guy, right?
Yep.
You need him to be that anchor no matter who's subbing in on your line. Jared Goff I'm playing until I don't need to anymore. Amon-Ra St. Brown, same type of style. J-Mo, same type of style. You know, I can rely on Tim Patrick, Khalif Raymond to run my offense through. So I'm not saying shut it all down. I'm just saying why not use this to your advantage and not stress these guys out when you don't have to.
Assuming a blowout, who's your quarterback coming in the fourth quarter?
Oh, it's got to be Teddy Bridgewater, right? He's got to get up to game speed.
Well, yeah, I think because he's not up to game speed, they'll probably go with Hooker in this particular instance.
Yeah, either way, I mean, the backup argument is the backup argument. I love that we're so rich as Lions fans.
I know,
So
right?
that's something we've been passionate about this year. Well, what does that mean for Hendon Hooker? Who cares? I never want to see Hendon Hooker play football. I want to see Jared Goff. That's it. Period. End of story. So, yeah, Goff's got to be the MVP tonight, but as far as who I'd rest, that's it. That's what I'd do. Maybe I don't rest everybody to where they get 0 snaps, but maybe I'm cutting 25% of snaps for people. Maybe I'm just pulling back a little bit. I don't know.
I'd probably sit Penei the most.
Really?
Because he's the most important guy out there, man, aside from Jared Goff.
But he's also your anchor, right?
Your warrior.
Yeah, if you're subbing other people, he's going to be the guy that needs to be the leader on the field. Justin, who would be your MVP for tonight's game?
I think it's got to be Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
Because the fact that Dre Greenlaw is out, I think he is who kind of gets it all going in the middle for them in terms of stopping the run. And I think the lanes are going to be wide open for him to just run through. I think he's going to have a couple big runs, maybe 2 or 3 15-plus, 20-plus runs. I think he's going to get in the end zone. And besides from a Jared Goff, like, perfect game or esque, as we've seen him do a couple times this season, I just think the offense is going to run through Jahmyr Gibbs. And even if they can't get the run game specifically going, they've shown an ability to get the screen passes and the slips out into the flats for Jahmyr Gibbs to be eating in that way. So I just think that it's going to be a monstrous Jahmyr Gibbs game.
I would agree, and I think that he's the most obvious choice. But I also think that he would be the first guy to sit because they cannot shoulder an injury
at the running
to
back
him
position
with Monty down. So if he does, he better do it in the first 35 minutes because if this game is not close, we're not going to see much of him in the second half.
And then my sleeper pick is Jamison Williams because I believe he's going to hit the 1,000-yard mark this game.
You doubling down what KG just said.
Hey, shout out you, KG.
Kevin Hill in the Woodward Sports Chat. Stick, you're wrong. Big game tonight. Must win. Think of the tie game scenario next week. Now who's scared?
Who's scared?
You're
Is this
worried
what
we're
it
gonna
feels
tie?
like to have the chat be on your side? Because it's pretty nice.
It is. but like, I'm not scared of a tie. Are you? So who's scared if you're afraid of tying? No, I'm saying you got to win that game no matter what.
Yeah.
So you could take your little tie scenario, which happens 0.000.3% of the
Less
time.
than one time a year over the last 40 years.
Yeah. So get that fear out of here. Who's scared now? It's you, Ken Hill, or whatever the hell your name is.
Kevin Hill.
Kevin Hill, whatever. I don't even know your name.
But can you tell us about the good people at KDK Law and
Listen, we're talking
Divorce.
Kevins. Are we talking Kevins? Let me tell you about the Kevin. It's Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law right here in Birmingham. See that QR code above my head? Give it a scan because if you are dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, you've got to have this team having your back. You can also give them a call at 248-971-0476. Whether you call them or hit that QR code, make sure you mention Woodward Sports, and they'll take care of your filing fee. KDK Law, they got your back.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The bad boys from the NFL are here. Your 2024 Detroit Lions are the hardest hitting, highest flying, trickiest playing, grittiest team in the NFL.
A dominant team.
Get all your coverage of your favorite team right here in your favorite network. Woodward Sports. Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward Sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Listen, I know it's beautiful out today, but winter is coming. If you're overdue for a new car, you've got to take advantage of those amazing deals that are being offered by Les Stanford Chevrolet right now, like their Blazer EV2LT with all-wheel drive for only $149 a month, or upgrade to the Equinox EVLT for only $169 a month. Listen, they've got a huge inventory that also includes Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale, lesstanford.com.
Hey, welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. It's Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Choff Beat behind us right now. We got Justin in the sound booth, KG in here. They're replaying the kick from last night to win the game. Did you see all the Atlanta Falcons fans celebrating like that kick went in? But it was
honest,
like
man.
5 yards short.
I was bitter. I watched maybe the second half of Minnesota and Packers. Otherwise, it was an NFL-free weekend for me. I was pretty tuned into the NBA and pretty salty over my fantasy teams.
No, this game last night, it was a fun game to watch. Michael Penix had a decent game. Your boy Daniels, obviously they came back and won it. Yeah, he looked okay
Did
last
Penix
night.
get any touchdowns through the air?
He had one through the air.
Okay.
But yeah, last night our old kicker gets on the field, 56-yard field goal. He boots it from the camera angle that they were showing on TV. It looked like it was dead center. Even in my bed, I was watching. I was like, oh man, Atlanta just beat Washington. But then you see it comes up about 5 yards short. but there's a video of a bunch of fans in Atlanta celebrating at a bar because on TV it looked dead center like it was going through the uprights. They're all celebrating, then they turn and see, nope, it was about 5 yards
Kind of like
short.
when you and I thought Tucker's kick was short, but it
Yeah,
hit the bar and
yeah,
went over.
No, it
Ugh.
was very, very much similar. It was Patterson was the kicker last night, the
okay.
guy we cut last
Yep.
year. And now you know why Dan Campbell didn't know he was going for the field goals. That guy wasn't even good from 56.
Big leg Bates, baby.
Which now 56 in the NFL just seems like it should be a gimme. Like, not a gimme or at least attainable, but he was he struck that ball as well as he could, and it could not get 56
There's
yards.
a reason he's been on 3 teams in 2 years.
Yeah. So yeah, Riley Patterson was our kicker. Yeah, but it was funny to watch, but I definitely thought that was going in. I thought Atlanta won, and the fans in Atlanta thought the same thing, and watching them realize their team lost was heartbreaking and funny at the same time. But yeah, lots of talk about tonight's game and the Vikings. I mean, I know you want to like hang on to the 49ers talk. I think we've done that. I think we've covered it enough. I mean, the only thing I think we could talk about the 49ers is if they continue on this road, I mean, Shanahan's gonna hit the bricks soon, right?
Yeah,
like they had a window. It's closed, and there should be a cautionary tale to the Lions. It's never given. It's never going to be assumed the next year.
Well, and what I see in the difference on how the 49ers have been run and versus how the Lions have been run, the 49ers each year have been willing to trade draft picks and capital for 1-year players that were supposedly going to get them to the promised land. And we've seen Lions fans cry and moan and complain for the last 2 trade deadlines that the Lions didn't do more, that they didn't make a bigger splash. You are going to watch the 49ers fall off a cliff. And when we take them to Pound Town tonight,
Pound Town.
KG, you and I talked on Friday. This is an era-ending victory tonight. We are going to end this era for the 49ers. On the other side of that coin,
I feel like we're the dude walking in at the end of the fight, though, and just kicking them while they're down.
It
Like,
don't matter.
that's
The era's
fine.
already over. in San
People
Francisco.
did the same shit to us for years. My bad, Fox
That's
2.
right. Sorry, Fox 2.
Good Lord, Cage.
What is
I know
wrong
I'm on
with
the
you
road
over
today.
in
We
that?
gotta get
You
you out
need
of
to be
that
on the
booth.
left, I think.
Yeah, I'm off balance today, man.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Anson.
No, I kind of lost my space. I listen, I want to go there and remind this team who the owners are of the NFC, because even though they're not making the playoffs, they currently own the NFC, and they have for over 5 years now. The Lions are built differently. They are built like the Steelers have been built for the last 3 coaches, which is drafting and developing players and not giving up capital. This team that we have right now is basically in place through 2026.
Yep.
And you aren't going to see Brad and Dan give away stuff for one player like you have seen the 49ers do over and over. Hey, much like your fantasy team, much like your buddy DPO's fantasy team, you guys were in a position to win the last 2 years. You guys sold off great capital to try and do it this year. If it doesn't work, you find yourself in a really bad situation.
Well, I mean, can we revisit the Trey Lance trade? 3 first-round picks to move up to get that guy, only to ship him off.
That's right.
Like, it didn't end your run at that time because you still have residuals, and you were lucky to fall upon a Brock Purdy who was able to be a placeholder.
Very lucky.
But I think we've all seen that Brock Purdy is Mr. Irrelevant for a reason. He's not going to be that guy that leads you to the promised land. He needs everything around him to be perfect. And now you got a decision to make. Are you going to pay this guy $50 to $60 million a year? Or are you going to go try to find another guy like a Jimmy Garoppolo who got you to the same place as Brock Purdy? Like I said, this needs to be a cautionary tale, and I think Dan Campbell has all of that under control because of his post-game press conference last year. Like he said, it was hard to get there. It's going to be even harder to get back this year, and I think you're seeing it. I mean, you could have a 14-win team and still not be the number 1 seed in the NFC. It's going to be tough to get back. So, yeah, I don't ever want to see the Lions do what San Francisco did and mortgage their future for the now. It worked for the Rams, though. They gave up a bunch of first-round capital. They got their quarterback, and it worked for them. It has not worked for the 49ers, and I would rather the Lions stay on the path, be stingy with your picks, be tight with anything that you're trading. Don't just have to go make a splash to make a splash, even though I do appreciate them going to get Christian McCaffrey. That was a game changer for them, but his health depth just wasn't there, and I can't blame them for that. But that Trey Lance trade was the beginning of the end for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah. To get draft picks from Brad, it's like peeling them out of a just crusted up, dead, frozen hand. The guy does not want to give up his picks, and it's so contrary to the way most GMs are building their teams right now. A cautionary tale, but it is a tale of something that's completely different from what the Lions have been doing for the 4 years that this regime has been here. That being said, I'm ready to talk about the Vikings.
Let's do it. Next Sunday night, because of the game that got flexed, your Detroit Lions are playing the Minnesota Fraud Vikings for the number 1 seed in the NFC. We got to watch them play last night. I didn't think it was too much of an impressive win last night.
First half was strong.
They were up 10-3 going into half.
They just controlled the half.
Yeah.
The way they looked in the fourth quarter is the reason they won't beat the Lions at Ford Field next week.
Better question. Did this say more about the Vikings or more about the Packers?
I thought to me, it was just it showed who both teams were.
Agreed.
Like, I didn't learn more about. I guess maybe I did because I honestly thought they were evenly matched.
Yeah.
But you saw that the Vikings are a step above the Green Bay
Well, to
Packers.
be honest with you, listen, they get an extra opportunity to miss field goal on a non-existent offsides.
Yeah.
So that 2 points, 3 points right there, they were, you know.
But let's be honest. I mean, Green Bay came back in this game. They never had the ball with a chance to take the lead in the game. They're like, the Vikings controlled this game. And yeah, you can tip for tat on a couple calls here or there, which I know Green Bay Packers fans are coping today. I saw it all over my Twitter. Yeah. Oh my God, show me where the offsides is, please.
And both fans,
somebody tell me where the offsides
both
is.
fan bases posting videos of dirty hits. It's like, dude, did you miss all the dirty hits?
Tucker Kraft going low, then the other guy from Minnesota going low and getting flagged on it. Like, both those fan bases deserve to cry to each other. And then you see this video of Sam Darnold being lifted in the air like he's Rudy because they beat the third place Packers.
They didn't even win a division.
No,
nothing.
That's because they beat a third place team.
Like I would imagine that on clinching a playoff berth.
You want to talk
maybe?
to me about mental mindset?
Right?
Like that's not Dan Campbell tough.
They third place at 11 and like 4 though. So I mean, you
still
got to give them
place.
that credit. But
you beat the third place team in the NFC North.
No, that's true.
And you held up Sam Darnold like he's Rudy.
It's a good division. I will give them that. But what I learned last night is Jordan Love just ain't it.
No.
All that preseason hype. Oh, he's the future of the NFC North. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not.
They had zero.
His third quarter
plays.
was atrocious, man. If he had a better third quarter, they win that game.
What? No. His first, second, and third quarter. He had 59 passing yards through 3 quarters.
It's crazy. Yeah,
he had 59 more yards than you. That's it. That's it.
I'm not going to be quick to write off Jordan Love or a guy like C.J. Stroud that's having a little bit of a regression in their second year. But what I saw last night was 2 evenly matched teams that are not on the same level as the Detroit Lions, not even on the same level as the injury decimated Detroit Lions that we were seeing a month ago and a couple weeks ago. Those 2 teams, I'm still shocked that the Vikings have been able to go this whole season with only 2 losses, but they are head on with loss number 3 next week. I firmly believe that those 2 teams just are not emotionally or physically on the same level as the Detroit Lions.
It's going to come down to the Lions secondary next week. That's everything. That's the matchup. That's where they're skilled at. Justin Jefferson, Addison. You saw
Jalen Naylor.
You saw Naylor have a big game. And it seems like every time I watch the Vikings, they have a wide open touchdown. Like, not a guy within 30 yards. And Sam Darnold obviously makes the pitch and catch. He makes congrats. It's a wide open pass. You should make it as an NFL quarterback. But for some reason, there's one right now from yesterday with Naylor. They schemed this, and you saw it against the Atlanta Falcons. It looked like the Atlanta Falcons forgot how to play football when they were playing the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah. So as long as our secondary can match up, I don't see any other skill position that they can beat the Lions at.
Darnold's been very accurate. He's been resilient and very, very accurate. The one thing I don't want to see is yet another cardiac cats last-minute game. I want to beat the Vikings definitively. I
Yeah.
want it to be
Yeah,
very,
you
very
put 'em to bed.
clear
Shit,
that
we
they
all
are
do.
not on our level. You know, if we end up with another
Turn
close game with
KG's
these
mic off,
guys-
please. You're done for the day, KG. That's
yeah.
4.
Yeah, I'm in the penalty box. It's
Yeah,
all
we
good.
could at least put KG in timeout for 5 minutes.
I'm curious because we're going to be together tonight at Hayes Social in
Yes.
Shelby Township. You guys should join us for the watch party. It is a great, great time. I'm curious. I don't think that even though some Lions fans are looking towards the next week, that anybody's taking this game off tonight.
No.
I think everybody's going to be wearing their jerseys. Everybody's going to be ordering their Sorokis if they're at home. Everybody's going to be out at the well, you should be at Hayes Social, but if you're going to your local spot to watch it, I think Lions fans are going to be in full force, not only around Metro Detroit, but as you asked earlier, we're going to see plenty of Honolulu Blue in the Bay Area tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a takeover. I mean, the Lions fans have traveled all season long. It's actually been one of my favorite things to troll
Really,
Packers
for sure.
fans with on Twitter is a packed
You
Lambeau
guys
full of
you guys
full of
traveled.
Honolulu Blue, a Lambeau field full of Honolulu Blue. While these guys are telling me they have super fans, I was like, I don't
Did you
know.
hear
Your
the
fans aren't
mandate?
even going to your games.
Did you hear the mandate in Minnesota right now?
What?
Buy all the tickets you can in Detroit. We're taking over Ford Field.
Good luck. Good luck. This is not the Lions of 5 years ago. I mean, getting nosebleed tickets is like $600-700.
crazy.
You ready to drop $5,000 to come to Detroit to watch your team get put in 5th place? By all means, Minnesota, come on down. But
Save your money for your first round playoff exit.
KG, we got to take a break. Where are we going?
The good people about Sabbath Coffee Roasters, man, and I'm a big coffee guy. I got to get down with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast and use code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake, unwind, and support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. We will be right back, y'all.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, Caesars Sportsbook. You want to bet on the game tonight? And even if you lose, you're going to get hooked up with $1,000 and a bonus bet if your first bet loses. All you got to do, use code word Woodward1000 when you sign up. Scan the QR code right above my head right now. That's code word Woodward1000. Put some money on the game tonight and get some back from Caesars. All right, welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Braylon Edwards. That is Anson Wells, filling in for Ryan Ermanni. We have Juzus here. Justin is here, of course. And KG with the foul mouth today is in the team.
Hey, I don't know where the soap is at, but I do got a $20 super chat. Shout out to nobody in the Woodward Sports chat.
Like
Anson, to a point you made earlier, Brad Holmes loves his picks, but he's also from the F-Dem Picks squad. I think they pulled from the F-Dem Picks 2 years early in LA. If Brad has the capital and this team can be a dynasty with one move, I think he does it again.
I think, but at the same point, and I agree with your point, nobody, but He's not doing that from players from other teams that are 6 years into the league. He is doing that for guys that they've put their due diligence into, i.e. Jahmyr Gibbs, i.e. J-Mo. And these are two guys that they saw as absolute game breakers. And, oh, that's crazy. They were right.
Yeah.
That's the only time I see them giving up capital is to move in and get a guy that they can hold on a rookie deal for 4 or 5 years where they don't have to pay, through the teeth in order to bring the guy back after a year.
I think you learned through all the injuries this year, especially the Aiden Hutchinson injury. Brad Holmes wasn't going out there and overspending for even a Max Crosby or a Myles Garrett. Now, he picked up the phone, he called about him, and I guess 3 first-round picks is what they wanted. You hang up the phone, say thank you. I tried. We did our best here, but I'm not giving up 3 first-round picks. And if he was the type of dude that was like Kyle Shanahan and what they did out there in San Francisco, oh, Trey Lance, you want 3 first-round picks? Sure, let's draft him. If he's going to make the move, I think it will be for an established player, but I don't. Why? When you're pulling literal all-pro guys out of the 4th round. Like, what are we doing?
It's so much more about having that rookie scale contract locked in. And when you go out and you give up one of these, major draft picks for a guy that you might have for a year, maybe you're lucky and get 2 like you did out of Z. It just doesn't make sense because you got to come back and pay through the teeth to keep this guy. Listen, if we would have made the move for Z right after we lost Hutch, right when they made the phone call, like all the fans wanted, we would have paid a 4th-round pick.
And you didn't lose a game.
We gave up, a 5th and a 6th, and they're paying his contract.
We had to pay $600,000.
Oh, man.
I just want to be factually accurate when we're reporting this. For the poll in the chat right now, offensive MVP for tonight's win against the 49ers. I like how you put that in there, KG. Goff at 43%, J-Mo 24%, Gibbs 20%, St. Brown 13%. So Jared Goff. He's got to be the guy tonight. California kid, played at Cal, comfortable out there. It's an outdoor game. Oh no, not Jared Goff in outdoor games. He's going to go out there and ball out tonight.
I think so. I mean,
he wants to end the fight early. I think that's like if we're talking about the team's mentality about being aggressive tonight, I think the message from Dan Campbell is end this fight early so I can rest you. Yep. And that's kind of a hybrid of both mine and your beliefs, right?
But isn't that every week? But especially this week.
I think especially this week. Like, hey guys, we understand what's going on. We understand next week is more important than this week. So you know what I want to challenge you with? Go out there, kill them in the first 2 quarters. Then make it my decision to where I don't have to play you in the second half. Then I think we all win. I'm happy because they didn't put forth this massive effort and drain themselves. And I think you guys are happy because it's still the rah-rah Lions that we've all come and known to love.
KG, how many times have we seen Honolulu Darko this year? 3?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so we've had an opportunity with 3 games to be able to just shell another opponent where we could rest our guys. Are we capable of doing that even with against a team that is the defending NFC champions? I know they're hurt, but they're at home. And you got to think that these guys, as much as they've thrown away their season, this is a huge game for them. Like, we can't take this opponent lightly. And I know that we can afford to lose this game, but
and listen, I know when you play half speed, you play to get hurt. Like that's just what happens. I mean, you saw it. Who was it that slid down to kill time and damn near broke his leg? What game was that over the weekend? It was a smart play. He had to go down, but it's what we
can't think of it right this second.
I forget which running back it was, but it was your guy. It was Chase Brown.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the game, he slid down. He was doing the right thing.
Could he have had a touchdown?
He could have gotten a touchdown. Yeah, he definitely could have gotten a touchdown. But what I'm saying is the fact that he pulled up and tried to go a little bit lighter to get tackled, that's when you get hurt in football. You need to go full speed if you're out on the field. I'm not advocating for pulling back if you're on the field.
They're not going to do that.
No. So I don't want people to think that that's what I'm talking about is, hey, play, but only play half speed. No. If you're on that field, you're a dog. You got to play 100% at all costs because otherwise that's what gets you hurt.
Yeah, I guess I'm starting to think about the Vikings, buddy. I think you've pushed me in that direction.
It's not me pushing you. It's just everybody should be thinking of the Vikings right now.
I mean,
like this should be I hate saying that the San Francisco 49ers game is meaningless, but the San Francisco 49ers game is meaningless. We got to worry about 6 days from now.
Yep.
And that's the thing. We're on a little shortened week here, too. We got to fly back from California tonight. You're not going to get your full day rest on Tuesday. Wednesday, you got to come in and start planning. Thursday, you do your first
we do have a less
first
day,
and second down
one less
practice.
day to prepare than they do.
So that's
You're right.
what I'm saying. Like,
You're right.
every minute matters right now, especially when you're preparing for essentially a playoff game. And like I prefaced earlier, I know they don't go home if they lose on the 18th game of the season against the Vikings. So it's not a playoff game, but there's a lot on the line. It's a first round bye. It's an entire almost 2 weeks off. How good would that feel for this team? So good. So they need week 18 is all that matters. I'm hyper focused on it.
Yep.
That's all I care about right now.
All right, chat. We got 25 more minutes until that final segment. Keep the super chats coming in. Whoever contributes the most, we're going to let you pick that final segment over the last 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. But you got all your Vikings talk out of your system? You got some other stuff to talk about?
There's really not much to talk about that we haven't covered throughout the season. Like, my view of the Vikings hasn't changed since we beat them in week 6. I think they've played a very weak schedule. I think every game has been very close because they're not a dominant team. They've gotten a couple breaks. We've seen that before with Vikings teams. What was that, 2-3 years ago? They led the league with like 7 or 8 one-score wins, but it's not sustainable. And they've won the games they've had to win, but I've never turned on a Vikings game this season and been like, oh my God, that team looks unbeatable. Yeah. I've done that with the Bills. I've done that with Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Even though Kansas City isn't dominating teams, you feel like Kansas City is just bored playing with their food this year. They don't care about the regular season. Even though they've only lost one game, they haven't had a very impressive regular season, but it's Kansas City. The pedigree's there. So
we only have to play one of them.
Yeah, that's the good news. All 3 of them are on the AFC side. But that's why, like, I get the Vikings record, but I look at them. They had like the 3rd easiest schedule in the league. Congrats, you beat the Jets. You didn't have to play the Bills. You didn't have to play Tampa Bay. You didn't have to play real winning teams this year. And the only time you did was us, and you lost.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about 3 guys in Minnesota that do scare me a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, but Justin Jefferson's on the list.
Well, see, that's the easy one. So I'm not going to talk about him because we already know what Jay Jetta can do. On the offensive side of the ball, Jordan Addison for the last 6 weeks to maybe the last 2 months has shown to be one of the better wide receivers in the league. In the first half of the season, this guy was nowhere to be found. He wasn't part of Sam Darnold's like repertoire. He just didn't look his way. Then they get TJ Hawkinson back. And TJ hasn't been a huge part of their offense, but he was last night, made some really, really big plays on some 3rd downs. He's going to be looking for some revenge coming back to Detroit. And then on the defensive side of the ball, man, that Andrew Van Ginkel. A real disruptor. And if that's a guy that if he can get to Jared Goff a few times tonight, could change the look, or excuse me, next week could change the look of this game.
It's going to come over to turnovers and hanging on to the ball. I mean, that's going to be the main thing next Sunday. I just can't wait. I'm excited for next Sunday.
Yeah.
That's why I'm overlooking today. Like, I wanted to be excited for today's game, but next Sunday is what's got me juiced. That's the game I want to see played. That's the game that, like, has meaning to it. So
$350 worth of meaning.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Honestly, I think this plays into my favor, KG. I think this plays into my favor with the whole bet with Mason Leach. I was more worried that this game was going to be a wrap and that the Lions were going to rest people and that it was a meaningless game. That's when I thought the Lions were susceptible to lose this game, not when it actually matters. Now I know the Lions are going to handle business. They're going to have a focused week to practice. They understand the mission that's in front of them next Sunday. So I'm excited to watch them play next Sunday. I want them to I want them to expose this Vikings team to where they're limping into the playoffs with their tail between their legs.
Yeah, I do not want to see a cardiac cat close game at all. I don't want to see it tonight, and I don't want to see it next week. I want them riding emotionally high and dominant into their week 1 bye week.
Oh, man, a bye week. Think about that.
Sick.
Think about that.
It's amazing, man.
It needs to happen too. If any team needs the bye, if any team deserves the bye week, it's the Detroit Lions for what they've endured this year and how they've maintained. I love how the injuries is no longer something we're discussing. After the Bills loss, that's all you heard about for an entire week. Oh my God, the injuries. This team is never going to be able to make a Super Bowl. I think the get-right game against Chicago, now you get a get-right game against San Francisco. Everybody realizes everything's in front of you. You're getting healthy. The being scared after the Bills loss for, I would say, 70% of Lions fans, I think has finally gone away. It's washed away somehow.
So you got real mad at me when I said that was a good loss for the fan base. Now that we've kind of found our equilibrium as fans, do you look back and still not see that as a good loss for the fan base?
No, because the fan base exposed themselves.
That's what I'm talking about. These new fans,
loss.
new money fans beating their chest.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of, okay, I'm out of here. 2 losses, this team can't do it. And then you got guys like Spenny, well, it's not about the loss. It's about the players who were injured.
Let them lose tonight. You're going to see how important this game was tomorrow.
And that's the thing. But those are the loud 70% of fans who weren't here 4 years ago, 5 years ago, right? Like those are the people that just popped out of the woodwork. They're not used to
Pure
it.
Michigan fans.
So those are the fans that got exposed after the Bills loss. Like if you were upset about losing to a potential Super Bowl contender with a potential MVP at quarterback who had to play out of their mind, the Bills played their A game against the Lions, maybe B-C game, and they won. Got to give your a tip of the cap to them, credit. But I would after the Bills lost, okay, they lost to the Bills. Next. Yeah. And here we are. The injuries are no longer an excuse that people are falling back on.
We had Doc Pearson here Thursday. We didn't even know what to talk about because nobody was injured last week.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Doc, tell us about the hamstring injury on Khalif Raymond. Is he good to come back?
That's what we talked about.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It's good. It's
Thank
good.
goodness,
There's been so
sure.
many doctor clips that have popped off because of the massive injuries. Dante151 with the super chat.
Shout out.
What's weird? Last year and this year, the NFC North Division came down to the Lions and the Vikings game. Also, Goff only missed 3 passes of the first time against the Vikings. Also, Lions need a bye.
Yeah.
I agree with all those things.
I wonder how many teams in the NFL have never gotten the number 1 seed in the playoffs. And I know that always didn't mean a bye, but I'm just curious. Might be 2/3, well, at least 1/3 of the league, I would think.
That's got to be quite a bit. I don't know. Yeah. I do not have those numbers in front of me.
Stat guy.
Yeah.
Figure that out.
Come on,
right.
Justin.
How
How many teams have not been number 1 seeds in the NFL?
In the Super Bowl era.
He's over there calculating right now.
Yeah. Google.
Calculating.
Ask Chat GTP. Man, this is such a weird show to do today. Honestly, because I want to talk about 2 teams haven't had the number 1 seed.
What?
It's 5. It's Cardinals, Lions, Texans, Jets, and Buccaneers.
Have never had the number 1 seed.
Never had the number 1 seed.
Wow, that's a small number.
That's not that many.
I would have thought it would have been a little bigger.
A lot more too. Yeah. Well,
Let's end that.
See,
Let's end that.
Never had a number 1 seed. That's crazy.
The fact that this year the NFC North decided to be an actual division, I just don't understand it. When the Packers were rolling the NFC North for those years in the past, the Bears were awful, the Lions were awful, the Vikings were awful, and all they had to do was win maybe 9-10 games and you won the division. Yeah. This year, a 14-win team is not going to win the division.
It's wild.
And another 12-win team is coming in third.
Only us. This is only the Lions, man.
But you know what? I don't want it any other way, right?
Yeah.
Because now, what can we brag about? Yeah, we won the division when it was the toughest.
Would the Bears be a playoff team with Jaden Daniels as their number 1 pick?
I don't know. I have no idea. The Bears are just a cluster. They would be if they hired Jim Harbaugh instead of sticking with Eberflus.
Nah, I can't. It's hard to say because the Bears have been such a just bad organization all around. Maybe if Jaden Daniels goes there, he doesn't have as electric of an rookie season as he's having.
I mean, there's 3 or 4 games that could have easily been switched, the results, just with a little more careful play.
Well, I mean, how about the game they played against each other?
100%.
The one Hail Mary,
Yeah.
like, literally dictated their whole season. One
They
team went one
crumbled
way,
after that.
the other team went the other. Big Head Chris, we play our A-plus
Hell of a
game.
name.
I know. What a big head. We play our A-plus game, and nobody stands in our way. We haven't had that yet this year. Just think on that. And I'm with you, Big Head Chris. When Anson and I got into an argument, what was that, week 12?
Buffalo.
No.
Oh, the one before?
Yeah,
there's
that
been about
argument.
there's been 3 games.
My argument was if the Lions play their A-plus game, nobody can beat this team. Nobody on planet Earth, nobody in the galaxy, nobody anywhere can beat the Lions when they play their A-plus game. And I'm with Big Head. I don't think we've seen the A-plus game out of the Lions. Have you seen when both sides of the ball are clicking at the same time?
Titans game.
Jaguars
game.
But the Titans game, the offense really wasn't even clicking. That was all special teams. If you look at those offensive drives, they scored like 4 touchdowns inside the 20.
True. It was some offense in there. Not as much.
They had to get the ball in the end zone, but the special teams dominated that game.
Yeah.
Like, that was, to me, maybe the Cowboys game was probably the most efficient
60
on both
minutes.
sides.
Yeah, that's the most
But that's when you
complete
lost
60 minutes.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Sure.
So it's a bizarre season to look back on right now, and I'm with Big Head. I don't think we've seen both this team operating on all cylinders yet, and that's a scary thought.
Yeah, not for 60 minutes. I mean, we've seen some of our best games. We came out a little flat for the first 5 to 7, 8 minutes, maybe a drive or two and a defensive non-stance. But this team, the most important thing to me is just their fourth quarter ability. Even, the Buffalo loss, the Tampa Bay loss, these guys never showed any quit at all. And, I mean, realistically, that Buffalo game, we probably should have lost by 3 touchdowns.
Could have. The old team would have.
Yeah. Oh, they would have folded real quickly.
Yep.
But I'm not worried so much about the 60 minutes. I'm worried about the start, and I'm worried about that second half. It's so hard to put 60 perfect minutes out against a team like San Francisco in San Francisco, albeit the injuries. And obviously, Minnesota's great. They're going to take this team out of their game at times, but we're going to be able to take them out of theirs for a longer stretch.
I'm going to have to go back and watch the Minnesota game from earlier this season. Probably do that maybe tomorrow night.
Where do you watch that? Where do you rewind it at?
At my house.
Oh, you just have it saved?
I record every single game, and then I watch it 2 or 3 times throughout the week because I like keying in on certain players. Like, all right, I'm just going to watch Penei Sewell this entire game. I'm just going to watch. And obviously, you're able to predict plays. Oh, I know this is the play. J-Mo gets open. I want to see the motion. Like, that's what I do during my week. But I really want to go back and watch that Vikings game to see what changed from being down 10-0 to the offense clicking and Jahmyr Gibbs breaking big runs and how they were able to overcome this Brian Flores defense that's so unstoppable except for at home against the Lions when they don't have Aiden Hutchinson coming off a bye week and they still lose.
They don't have a great second half offense. They have given up a lot of points in the second half. Lions just can't come out flat. They can't throw away a first quarter the way they did against Buffalo.
Man, Ford Field is going to be insane.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely insane. And if you're going to that game, you better be insane. Don't be one of these rich dudes that go down there and sit on your hands. Like, that's the one thing about these tickets going through the roof. You're no longer going to get the degenerates at games. Yeah. Like, you're no longer going to get kids like me and Anson drinking tons of beer, just going to a $100
Strong
game.
Islands.
Yeah, now it's a $700 ticket if you want to sit in the nosebleed. $700 a ticket. And I love the Lions. I ain't paying that.
No.
I ain't paying that.
Nope.
Hey Social gives me a good experience. We
Great
play the fight
experience.
song. You got the horn going off. People are high-fiving around you. Like, that's as close as I've gotten to being inside a game in 4 years.
Yeah, there's no other place, even during the Pistons wins and stuff, that I could ever compare to the atmosphere of Hey Social. I can't wait till tonight.
Yep, B-dubs without the BS, I like to say. But we blew past the break, so we got to do 2 reads. Can you tell us about Woodward and Maine in the pregame show?
Yeah, if you were watching this morning, you saw Broder and Mr. Terry Foster. I think he was wearing that exact same shirt. And Black Jesus, or Black Santa, was on this morning as well. Woodward and Maine, they kick off talking about all the lines. Just a casual warm-up to the day. It's just like a massage to get you warm and into your Lions game day. They'll be back on tomorrow morning morning at 7 a.m. to cover everything that happened. And then, of course, the pregame show happening tonight down at Second Best. So if you want to go party in Detroit and watch this game live, head on down to Second Best. The heavyweights are handling the pregame show tonight. And then the watch party going to be handled by these gentlemen right here, KG and Justin. It's all brought to you by New Holland, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew.
And the
And there we
post-game
go.
show and watch party.
Hey, we just told you, man. Listen, Second Best before and during you want to join us here at Hayes Social in Shelby Township, 21 in Hayes. You heard the sponsors. You've heard about the atmosphere, the biggest TVs, and the best
17
place
feet.
to watch a game in Detroit. Place is going to be packed. Make sure you call ahead, get your tables reserved, and come out and join us tonight. Hayes Social, watch party, and a post-game show.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The holidays are here. Don't know where to get your friends and family? Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted for the Lions Super Bowl run. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. So make sure it's a happy holiday for you or the sports lover in your life. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Listen, man, look at this beautiful merch on the screen right now. I mean, the Dan Campbell kneecap speech on a shirt, that's everything that I've ever wanted, man. But go to woodwardsports.com, click that shop tab, and just unlock a world of possibilities for your sports merch. We got everything, hoodies, tees, hats, everything guaranteed to turn heads. But you can get the latest designs today only if you go to woodwardsports.com, and please click that shop tab. Justin.
Looking for you to turn the mic on.
Are you looking for a refreshing gin drink?
I am now.
Have you heard of the Long Drink? It is a gin-based cocktail that will get you right, made right here in Michigan, made with all natural flavors, ingredients for better flavor. Taller, the Dutch Long Drink from New Holland Brewing Company is shoulders above the rest. Made from New Holland small batch gin, 100% real grapefruit puree for a fresh and delicious flavor. Taller is your local long drink, and it is the official beverage of Neil Rule.
And welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermanni today. That is Anson Wells filling in for Braylon. We got Justin in here. We got KG. And I love this comment in the Woodward Sports chat by Slick Nick. This is an angle we have not taken in this game. I bet Ben Johnson will purposely make some interesting looks to discombobulate the Vikings film review. This game will affect the next one based on how we play and the looks we present. Now, that's an interesting angle. And that I can accept as a reason to go all out in this game. If it's a smoke screen to screw with the next guys, that makes sense to me.
And they're just devious and that intelligent enough to be able to pull that kind of stuff.
That's so funny. Like, I love Ben Johnson and the creativity of that. After last week with the stumble rooski, or what did they call it?
The stumble bum.
The stumble bum is what it's officially called inside the Lions playbook. But the fact that Ben Johnson went to Jared Goff on Monday and was like, do you mind actually fumbling the ball and like dropping it on the ground and then picking it up? And Jared Goff had to be like, how about I just pretend to fumble? Like, the fact that like Ben Johnson was so insane, he's willing to put the ball on the ground in motion, an oblong football which bounces
could go anywhere,
odd directions, but he didn't care. It's like, hey, I saw something on film, when the Packers dropped the ball, the linebackers came forward. Think you could drop the ball? I just love that those are the conversations. And then they made the right call. He was going over the top with drop the ball. Jared Goff, I think, dialed him back to the right measure of, I'll just trip. I'll just look like I'm tripping. Such a good call. Such a fun call.
That's a great chat. Shout out to the chat. I know we got a lot of super chats that came in, and we're just maybe a little 5 or so more minutes. So if you want to get your topic chosen for the last topic of the show, get those super chats in.
I think Dante's in the lead. Dante 151.
Dante is kind of the king of the super chat.
Yeah. Shout out to him.
So are we not talking any Pistons?
What happened with the Pistons? They went 3-1 on the road.
They went 3-1. I know they lost to Denver on, what was that, Saturday?
As predicted.
Yeah. But listen, when was the last time this team went out on a West Coast trip and came back 3-1?
It's been a long time. I honestly can't even remember. Every time they go to the West Coast in the past 20 years, it's just been a nightmare.
You inspired me yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
I bought myself some Jaden Ivey high-end rookie cards.
Hey.
Get used to it, baby. The closer, the assassin. No, it's nice to see him and Cade finding the right chemistry between them. And, we can go back to a couple years ago, and they're doing what I said they needed to do. Obviously, Monty Williams didn't care enough to even implement this, but the key to this offense is Cade's going to initiate it. If that offense breaks down and you got 5 seconds left, chuck it to Ivy, let him make a play. And there you go. You get 2 offensive sets in one, and you have a premier point guard running it for 19 seconds, and then your cutter, slasher, now shooter, which Ivy's added to his game, is your closer. And it makes perfect sense to me.
KG, I'm going to ask you this because you're in 3rd place in our fantasy league.
I am, boy.
I gotta set my lineup.
Mr. No Set My Lineup over here is in 8th place. Can be changed, of course. Who are your starting guards on the All-Star team for the East? I know that the things are changed, but traditionally, who would you pick as a 2?
I'm going to set my lineup now.
Okay, so, it's hard to look past what my man in New York, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name right now.
Brunny?
Yeah, Jalen Brunson. It's hard to ignore what he's doing right now. I think he just had 55 points the other night. Really been balling for them, man. So I would probably put him there. Halliburton's had a down year, so I don't know if I'd put him up there. To me, Cade is right up there.
Over him and Dame?
Well, you got to put Dame in there. So that's 2. And then I would probably put Cade after that.
And number 3.
Yeah.
So he's close. And honestly, when you look at veterans like that, what's that?
My whole team's injured.
Is it? Well, by the way, you have 3 injury spots.
Notice.
You have 3 injury spots.
It's the first time I've checked my lineup in 5 weeks.
Everybody's injured.
Suggs game time decision. Zion injured. Embiid game time decision. Gordon injured. Mann injured. Holiday injured. Middleton game time decision. Johnson game time decision. Melton injured.
Just give up, man.
You do have 3 IR spots. You can pick some guys up, slide them in there.
That's what you get for
Start
saying
competing,
FK
buddy.
is your team name.
Yeah.
I don't care about your little trend.
Don't give up, though. I came back from a losing record.
I can do it either way. But yeah, no, the Pistons looking a lot better. It's just nice to turn on the TV and see competitive basketball. That's all I've ever asked. And, that's where I was with the Lions a couple years ago. I wasn't asking for this. I wasn't asking for 2 losses in a season. I was asking for 500 football.
Yeah.
I want to turn on the TV and not know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now I know what's going to happen. It's a win, and I love it. But with the Pistons, we're finally to a point now I can turn on any game and not know if they're going to win or lose, which is all I need as a fan.
Yeah.
Just give me a sliver of hope, and I'm going to be back committed. Because I checked out on the Pistons last year because I knew, why am I watching this? Every game I tune into, they're getting their head kicked in.
If the coach checks out on a team in the first month, how are the fans going to stay engaged? But listen, this new look Pistons team is a very engaging team.
And they're young and fun.
They play great defense.
Hey.
They put in full effort. They're starting to figure it out offensively, but their emotion, they're kind of just, they have a pissed off. They got something to prove, and they've been just kind of crapped on for a lot of years. Cade's been dismissed as maybe even as a bust being considered. So right now, this team is real easy to watch. They're easy to cheer for, and I think they're only going to get better as the year goes on.
I mean, you got to think that, man. Just with everything JB Bickerstaff has done, especially defensively with this team, I think it's like night and day from what we saw last year. Now, are they a top of the league defense? No, but they're middle of the pack, and you can see just having that alone is like pays dividends for what they're able to do. Also, you got to give them credit for finding the Cade and Jaden Ivey fit, because that was a big talking point of the offseason.
These guys can't play together.
Can they play together? JB has figured it out, and it's working perfectly.
Well, honestly, and let's give credit where credit's due to Jaden Ivey too for developing that outside shot, which has allowed them to fit, right? Because now Cade can penetrate. Cade can be that guy, but Ivey can now knock down the shot. When he was just only a slasher, it kind of limited what that offense could look like.
Absolutely.
So another tip of the cap to Jaden Ivey for improving your game after having a coach try to destroy your life.
Right.
That's why I just have even more
that.
respect for Jaden Ivey. A lot of players would have been like, man, coach doesn't like me. This team was never going to believe it. I'm just going to ask for a trade, or I'm not going to put in full effort. Not Jaden Ivey. It was, I'm not getting playing time. What can I do to get better? And he went out and actually did it.
And on top of that, this guy from day one, since he got drafted by the Pistons, has spoken it. I love being a Detroit Piston. He wants to be here. And, hey, in a time where nobody wanted to wear that red, white, and blue, to hear somebody play like or say that and then have Cade echoing it, watching these guys go to playoff games together as a team, that's what you saw out of the mid-'80s Pistons. In '86, these guys were going to the Boston Garden, the whole, the backcourt. Vinnie Johnson, Isaiah, Joe D, they were in the stands checking these games out the same way that we've been seeing these guys come together. We're at the start of something real special, I think, for the Pistons.
I hope so. It'd be nice to have the Pistons along this fun ride with the Lions and, the Tigers, if they can get Bregman actually look like a palatable baseball team.
Is that a move you want?
It's the only move I want.
I'd rather take Santander.
What else they gonna do?
I'd rather have both.
I'd rather have Santander.
Why not both?
Bregman worries me, the amount of money that you're paying, where he is in his career. I know that we need him this year, but the amount that they're looking to pay and for the amount of time that they're looking to put him in, he's not going to be a Javi Baez contract, but it could be a bad one.
You can get both for $65 million a year, let's say, right? You could probably get both, $30 million each. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And you're still not even a top payroll.
Nowhere close.
Not even close.
Not even close. So, just, to your credit, Justin, why not go get both? Let's go, Chris. Open that pocketbook up.
Yes,
see that
please.
Little Caesars money.
Yeah, I want to see AJ Hinch actually have a full war chest to use on the field. The way that he manages, the way that he plays matchups, to actually have real MLB bats, not just kids who are still trying to figure it out in the MLB, would be so massive. And you saw what he did last year. Just imagine you add 3 MLB, like true above average MLB bats, and the World Series experience that Bregman has, the World Series experience that Torres has, and then Santander, who has also played meaningful baseball. It's just, that would be a very exciting Tigers team to watch this year.
Are you also excited about the way that your Red Wings performed the other night?
Yes, I am.
They look like a different team, no?
They look like a completely different team.
I love the coach's message. Simple, to the point. Just play effing hockey.
Yeah.
Hey.
You've been doing it your whole life. Why are we overthinking?
Yes, and I think that's exactly what this team needed. He came in, and I feel like he took control of the locker room very similarly to the way that Dan Campbell did when he approached the Lions. And you see it with his speech. He said, just play effing hockey. And that's what they did last night. And he did some interesting things with the lineup, things that you can tell, because Derek Lalonde was a goalie. And goalies don't see like the game in the same way that someone who played as a player. And you can tell that with the different lineup moves that he has already done. Like, he brought up Joe Veleno from the 4th line to the 1st line, and he brought up Kopp from the 3rd line to the 2nd line. And just by those changes alone, you're seeing Patrick Kane come alive. You're seeing DeBrincat come alive. And that's what you need from this Red Wings team.
There's a guy named Joe Bueno.
Veleno.
Oh, I was like, no bueno, Joe Bueno.
Crayons for breakfast with the Super
Shout
Chat.
out.
And don't forget, Super Chat winner. You get to decide what we're going to talk about for the next 10 minutes. So KG is going to add all that up. Can you guys shout out Anakin's mom to let him stay up late to watch tonight's game and Sunday?
Shout out
You
Anakin.
named your kid Anakin?
No, Anakin Sky Ogre in the chat. I believe is who he's referring to.
Yeah.
Shout out Anakin,
you
man.
named your kid Anakin. I love you forever.
And come on, Mom, let him stay up. Make him some meatloaf. Just
Right.
let him be in the
Anakin-
well,
basement.
now wait a second. Next
Anakin.
week, he's going to have to choose between one. Is she going to let him stay up both nights? Because you think that next week is the night to stay up for, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
You gotta choose,
if
buddy.
you don't understand football and how the standings work.
Hey, let's be real. Let him stay up for both. This is
Yeah,
a
come on,
historic
Mom.
Lions
Right.
season.
Come on, Mom.
Stay up for
Come
both.
on, Mom.
Come on, Mom.
All right, real quick, we're going to do a break-in show. I got to get these last two reads off. So, second best bar, man, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskeys. Shout out to them. Want to know where the best Lions pregame party is for the Monday night game against the 49ers tonight? Join us at Detroit's very own second best bar, which will be headlined by the heavyweights, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at Second Best Bar. Come get some. And I'm also here to tell you guys about Salvation Army, man, because listen, it's still the holiday season. There's people in need, man, so why don't you give a little bit? When you give to the Salvation Army, your donation makes it possible to serve our community's most vulnerable 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The Salvation Army of Metro Detroit's 2024 Red Kettle Christmas campaign fundraising goal is $7 million. Your contributions will help provide love beyond Christmas to individuals in need of food, shelter, and compassion. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to donate.sagreatlakes.org to donate. And we are back. Also, our super chat winner will most likely be Dante151. So if you want to program our last topic of the show, Dante, now is your chance.
Let us know, baby.
Did you see Terry's quote from this afternoon?
No.
When you're the boss, you know what you do. You grab somebody by the collar, you pimp slap them, you call them a biatch. That's what the Lions are going to do tonight and next Sunday.
T. Foster's a legend.
Listen, for Terry Foster to make that stand, like he's as middle of the road as you're gonna. He's a professional reporter. He ain't me. He ain't a fan like me. So for him to say something like that, you gotta love Uncle Terry.
I'm on the same page. I'm absolutely on the same page with the legend in terms of that take.
I loved his take on 97-1 The Ticket today too. Did you see how he called them all soft and? He would know. He worked there.
I was sitting there and I was just in awe watching him cook. I was like, whoa.
I text Chase. I was like, clip that. Get that on Twitter, please. Like, let's get this up right
I
now.
was listening on the way in, and man, they must have had a whole lot of pillows in the studio because the takes were so soft. And I mean, like getting mad at a fan for talking to Judon. Listen, Judon assaulted a guy by hitting his phone out of his hand. You're mad because a guy gets on the field and wants to talk smack?
Who's mad?
The people on the dial, man.
Oh.
And talking about just, I mean, sharing your sentiment a little bit, fast forwarding past this game, and just want to talk about Minnesota. I'm really happy to hear Terry stick to business.
No, Terry's the man.
Yes, he
gotta,
is.
gotta love Uncle Terry.
Dante, what's that topic, baby? We're running out of time.
Well, that's all right. I mean, let's get final score predictions for this evening. Anson, what are you coming in at?
I'm going 48-27.
Damn. 48-27. All right. Justin, what are you looking at?
Damn, 48 is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm gonna go to KJ. I need some math.
All right. Well, for me, I think it'll be kind of similar to last week. I got 35-24 forward down the mother effing field. Y'all know what it is.
All right, I got mine ready. I got 42-13.
42-13.
Damn. Okay.
What's bringing that about? What took so long for you to come up with that number?
I needed to count the touchdowns.
Okay. So you're thinking six
Rain
touchdowns.
Man over here.
Yeah.
You said 48 was
How
crazy.
many
and
toothpicks on
responded
the
with
floor,
42.
Justin?
What?
So 6 touchdowns today.
Yeah.
Any defensive touchdowns?
Yeah. They're gonna strip sack Brock Purdy and they're gonna fumble 6 for a touchdown.
All right. Yeah. Now I'm going to go with my. I used to say Hendon Hooker's going to play. Now you're going to see Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater going to get some run tonight in that fourth quarter. Dante151, he said, let's talk about the possible coaching hires and firings in the NFL.
Ooh, that's an interesting topic.
That is an interesting topic. We got 3 minutes to discuss it. Obviously, the major one that I'm worried about, not worried about, but the only one I concern myself with is the Chicago one.
Yeah, Pete Carroll.
And wherever Ben Johnson's going to go. Yeah, Pete Carroll. Did you see that they may bring back Rex Ryan for the Jets?
Yeah, man. They also interviewing Riverboat Ryan. Shout out Riverboat Ryan. Gets
I like Ron Rivera, man. I think he's a decent coach.
He's not a good coach.
You don't think he's a decent coach?
Yeah, he hasn't been it for quite some time.
I like Ron Rivera.
If the Lions win the Super Bowl, AG leaves. We still get Ben Johnson regardless of the outcome of the Super Bowl. I've said it for 2 years, and I will say it for a third. That guy's not leaving.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about Pete Carroll in Chicago because I'm not worried about the catfish. It would be a shame to see AG go because while we've been celebrating Ben, this guy's been working with next to nothing. And then this year he had this great lineup on the defensive side, and then he lost more than half of his starters, and he's still cooked.
True.
Yeah, I think the worst kept secret in the NFL is him going to New Orleans, right?
Yes.
I think everybody, that's the writing on the wall with AG. He's going to wind up in New Orleans.
It's a good spot for him.
I
Perfect
agree with
spot.
Anson, though. I've been saying it for the past year that I don't think Ben Johnson's going to leave. I think that, and I'm going to speak to a different point than what you spoke to. I think that with our new ownership and Sheila Ford taking over, I truly believes like she has her finger on the pulse. She knows what's going on with this team. She knows what makes this team go, and she understands how important Ben Johnson is to Dan Campbell. And I wholeheartedly believe that Ben Johnson will get a huge pay bump to stay with the Lions and possibly close to head coaching salary numbers for him to be the OC of this team because of the fact that she knows that Dan Campbell is a head coach's head coach, where he is a general and he just likes to oversee everything but let other people call the defense like Aaron Glenn or have Ben Johnson call the offense. And I don't think that he is going to end up leaving, and I think that Sheila Ford Hamp will be a huge factor in that.
You heard the man, Sheila, pony up.
Other besides New Orleans, besides Chicago, we know
The Giants
Carolina's probably looking for the Giants.
The
job.
Giants
The
definitely need a new
Devils, the Jets are looking. I mean, there's a lot of vacancies. What's Vegas going to do? I mean, they stuck with Pierce.
I guess.
That was my next question.
What about Shanahan?
I don't think they're
What about
stuck with him. I
Shanahan?
think that he's a good
Shanahan's
coach.
fine.
How long do you hang on to Shanahan?
Probably another season
least
or two.
One more year.
Yeah.
If he falls flat again, you replace him, but I don't think you can replace him. After this one bad
Not
year,
with
when
that-
he
not with all
loses-
the injuries.
Yeah, you lose CMC, and that alone is enough. To
I know.
save his job.
It's just that recipe's not working there.
Yeah.
So
No,
at some
it's
point,
not.
you got to
It's
change up the sauce.
Is the Bengals job open? Is the question.
That's another interesting one. I mean, to me, that's where I don't want to see Ben Johnson go. With the
Yeah.
weapons they have on offense, but
They gotta get a
They don't have
defense,
an
but-
offensive line, though.
Yeah,
That's
or
the thing.
defense, but
They're still in it, right?
technically, yeah,
They need,
technically.
they need
yeah.
Denver
Tiny.
to beat to lose to KC, but KC is resting all their starters.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're talking about underdogs for MVP, Burrow should be your guy. Does he lead
Yes.
the league in yards and touchdowns?
Yeah, he got the triple crown.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. We're out of here. We will see you tonight at Hayes Social, 21 Mile in Hayes in Shelby Township. Anson and I will be doing the post game. Justin and KG will be doing the watch party, so make sure you join the chat for that. Or if you want, just come out. Come party with
Please.
us. Have some shots. Have
Great
some
time.
chicken. Let's hang out. We'll see you tonight at Hayes Social. Heavyweights up next from downtown at Second Best.